In 2007, I took a 12-month career break. Originally destined to spend a year living and working in London, I realised 3 months in that I preferred the travel part, not the living and working part. So when I came home, I kept working, but not in my old job or technically my current job because somebody else was doing that while I was on leave. Instead, I took the opportunity to try out different roles while I continued to travel. Now, recruiters welcomed me with open arms and I scored a bunch of temping gigs. These included an administration assistant with the Department of Communities, an executive assistant for an IR manager at Western Power, and a HR assistant for a mining company, Consolidated Minerals. In my final days as a HR assistant, I was chatting to one of the internal recruiters about different career pathways. But looking at my resume, she didn't get it. She was so confused. I'd actually made it really hard to read with all of these titles and jobs on the page.
Which may or may not have been a mistake. It may have been a mistake.
Do you want to see what it looked like? Absolutely, you do. Now, this is a 4-page resume, but I'm only showing 2 here. When you look at the first page, I have a crazy list of positions. Seriously, it's really hard to read that chunky list quickly. But not only that, I clearly had zero branding. Essentially, I was telling the reader that I have no idea what I want or who I am. Now, the truth was, I didn't know how to handle these extra positions on my resume. I had no idea how to explain that I'd actually had a career break. I couldn't figure out a way to keep those temping roles in a way that actually made sense, but also to show that I had gained a whole new set of skills. My formatting, as you can see, was totally off. Now, here's the problem. Resumes get around 7.4 seconds of initial airtime. And thanks to social media, we have an attention span of around zero point 0.8 seconds. Oh, and not only that, we consume desktop content, which is usually where resumes are read, in about 2.5 seconds. So while content is king, resume structure and formatting is essential to help the reader absorb your content. And data from JobVite shows that resume format is more important today to recruiters than it was in previous years. Why? Well, it's because of the application numbers and also the number of positions that recruiters are actually recruiting for. And with recruiters confirming that they do actually look at every resume, they want to do it quickly and easily so they can skim critical information. The bottom line, don't make it hard for them. In this case, we're talking about ways to slice and dice content rather than formatting such as color, font, and layout. So when it comes to content, here is a few things that you do need to consider. Look at your roles and see if there are ways to group positions together or content together. For example, can you batch positions together and create a nice, tight, concise summary and a snapshot of that time period? Also decide if you actually need to have every single position listed on your resume at all. Next up, look at positions that are more than 10 to 15 years old and consider how you might consolidate those older roles like we have in these examples. Finally, all content that you provide needs to support the position that you are going for. Otherwise, why is it there? Not only that, will that unnecessary clutter mean that you miss out on an opportunity? Simply because you couldn't quickly capture the recruiter's attention and visually stand out. I hope that video helps and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!